G'day there guys, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. It's your host Markee and welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. Now if you love today's content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and enjoy today's bloody good episode. Thank you. Posted by user AmiTheA 5509755679. Titled, Am I the a-hole for blocking my brother's fiancée after she announced she was pregnant? I'll explain the situation very quickly, and I'll do my best to not leave out important details. I, female 33, have been married for over 7 years, and have been struggling with mental health issues that prevented me from having a healthy pregnancy. I have miscarried 3 times, and both me and my husband are becoming frustrated, and we have literally lost any hope. This has clearly become a sensitive topic for us, and I can't help but feel absolutely horrible whenever I think about it. My brother Sam and his fiancée have been together for 2 years now. She's a bit rude, and would constantly bring up the fact that I can't have kids by making backhanded comments. For example, she told my mum and dad after I miscarried for the 2nd time that the family won't have grandchildren till she and my brother have kids, and talked about how much pressure I must be feeling since the clock was ticking, because women over 30 have less chances of having healthy pregnancy. She even implied that my husband will eventually leave since he had a right to have his own kids, since I can't give him that. As a result, I've distanced myself from my brother and my family because she was present at their house the whole time behaving like this. I had my 3rd miscarriage this past week, and I'm still dealing with complications both physically and mentally. I got a text from my brother's fiancée the next day, literally after I got out of the hospital, that she was sorry I miscarried, and that she was happy to tell me she was pregnant in the same text. I couldn't help but notice the sarcasm in her text, especially when she decided to invite me to my own parents' house to celebrate, completely disregarding what I just experienced. I showed it to my husband, then I blocked her immediately. She found out and she told my whole family. Told them that I blocked her right after I found out she was pregnant, and used the fact that I didn't visit because I was being resentful and jealous. My brother was angry that I blocked her. He told me I was clearly being bitter and disrespectful. My brother keeps parroting her words and won't even see anything wrong with her behavior. It's always been like this, but now it's worse since she's pregnant and everyone is trying to please her. That I ruined this for them, and that I shouldn't hate on my future niece and nephew out of spite. Both my mum and dad weren't happy with what I did. Mum even tried to say my husband made me do this because we're too bitter to be happy for my brother and his fiancée. The extended family heard the news and said they were shocked I did this, saying that I'm always known to be a nice person who doesn't pull this type of nonsense. I didn't feel like what I did was wrong, but now I do. I feel so horrible, but given how she treated me in the past, I figured she did this deliberately. I feel like she did this deliberately to you too. Feel like she's a piece of trash for saying that in the same sentence, and her partner is going along with this blindly because he'd rather be on her side than the side that is being attacked. And you know, that's his prerogative, but he can deal with the fallout from that decision. I really am kind of lost for words on this one because I just want to attack them for being horrible people. Not the a-hole OP. I feel bad for you. I feel really bad for you. Not the a-hole. Show everyone the texts she sent you. She's doing this on purpose and she sounds like a psycho. Exactly not the a-hole. She was trying to rub it in your face. You don't put the 2 things in one message, and she could have held off for a few days after to tell OP. You need to show your family the message and read it out how you perceived her tone to be. And maybe show them this thread. What your sister-in-law did was really insensitive. She could have waited a couple of days to announce her news. I'm sorry for your loss. She, honestly, should have waited like 2 weeks to announce after a close family member's miscarriage. Not the a-hole. Did you show them the text? Show exactly why you did it. She used her announcement to make another dig at you. Disgusting. A-holes like that shouldn't be enabled or supported. And OP replies, "No, I haven't seen them after this, and they didn't give me the chance to explain. Even if I did, they think I did this because of the fact that she was pregnant, but she was being rude and disrespectful to me even after I went through this awful experience." Highlight exactly how she worded it. I'm not going to repeat it just because of how disgusting the gist is. There is actually zero way that it can be other than her trying to rub it in your face. You just left the hospital. She knew. She chose to say what she said at that exact moment for a reason. She's a disgusting person. She does not deserve your family. Your brother is at fault for allowing her to treat the sister that way. Hell, I'd break it off then and there if my partner said that to anyone, let alone family. As a parent, I would be telling your brother she is no longer welcome in my house and he must choose a better partner. Someone who is less spiteful and with taste, or he is out as well. Honestly, OP, along with the recommendation you speak to a therapist, I'm also going to suggest you reconsider your relationship with your family. You need people who are 100% in your court as you deal with this, and these people don't appear to be. Posted by user Won't Buy a Mac, titled, "Am I the a-hole for buying my son, 16 male, a PS5, and refusing to buy my stepdaughter, 17 female, a MacBook?" So, my wife and I have been married for 2 years and dated for 3 years before that. Both of our kids live with us, and during this pandemic and lockdown, both of our kids started to do bad in school and wasting their time on the PS4, and my stepdaughter on Netflix and FaceTime with her friends. I love my stepdaughter like my son, and I try to be close with her without pushing myself, and I know it will take a lot of time, specifically with her age. My wife told me that before we live together, that I'm kinda not allowed to act like her father, because this subject is sensitive. I understood the situation, and if she didn't do anything beyond her limits, like hurting my son, escaping at night, or anything illegal, I'll let her mum act. A month ago, I had a big bonus from work that I put some of the money in our shared bank accounts, and the rest I could do whatever I want. Since I noticed the kids are doing badly in school, and not once saw them reading a book, I thought I can change that by giving them rewards for their achievements. So I talked with both of them at the dinner table and asked them what they would want to have, no matter how expensive it is. My son wanted the PS5, and my stepdaughter wanted a new MacBook since it's more beautiful, pinky and girly for her. I agreed. I told them that if they do well on their exam for the next month and read 6 chapters of a book that I gave them, same book, I will buy them their requested gifts. The rules were clear. You do good, you get the gifts. You do bad, you don't get anything. Honestly, I had low hopes of my son, since I know he hates reading and studying. Anyways, the deadline came, and surprisingly my son got 93% on his exam. He was studying 6 to 7 hours per day, and my daughter got 64%, mainly because I didn't see her study at all. And when I asked them to tell me about the book, my son did great. My stepdaughter read only 12 pages and tried to Google about the book. Not only did she not study nor read the book, she tried to cheat and lie to me. I didn't buy her the Mac, and I bought my son the PS5. My stepdaughter yelled, argued, and even cussed and threw a tantrum. I told her she should deal with the consequences. I gave her another chance until Christmas since she had another exam, and to read the book again. So that night I had a fight with my wife. She thinks that I'm favoring my son, and that I don't care about her daughter, which is not true since both had the same deal. She tried to take money from our joint bank accounts. I refused and told my wife she can buy her whatever she wants with her own money, or she can stop spoiling her so she could do better. It's been 2 days and we are barely talking. She thinks I have to apologize to the both of them and buy my stepdaughter the MacBook. I don't think it's fair since my son had to work hard and she didn't. Am I the a-hole? This one could have gone many ways, honestly, and I'm on the side of the dad here. Doesn't look like obvious favoritism at all. Both were offered a reward to put in more work at school, and only one put in the work. The second one did not put in the work, and now they're complaining they don't get a reward. That's not how life works. It's not favoritism. If the wife wants to fund someone being lazy, go on right ahead, buddy. You can do whatever you want. But OP should not be expected to fund someone that is being lazy and didn't earn their reward. Not the a-hole. Your son worked hard. He deserved it. Not the a-hole. Regardless of your relationship with them, you set your guidelines, your son met them, your stepdaughter didn't. He played the game and won the prize. That's the end of it as far as I'm concerned. So, not the a-hole. Stand your ground on this one, man, or else they'll walk all over you for the rest of their lives. He got an A, she got a D. Those are nowhere near equivalent. Don't buy her the Mac. I repeat, don't buy her the Mac. And if your wife goes behind your back, fudging return it. He even gave her a second chance, and she's wasting it by yelling and throwing tantrums. Her mum is wasting this learning opportunity by doing the same thing, lol. Since his wife doesn't want him to be a father to his stepdaughter, I think it's on her to teach her daughter to be less entitled. And maybe, I don't know, help her study or something? But instead, even she is trying to cheat the system for her daughter. Very much not the a-hole. Good luck with the holidays, OP. Edit. OP, I made a MacBook worthy of your stepdaughter's efforts. God, I love Microsoft Paint. It's on par with the Just No HOA little maps of the area. Isn't it beautiful? MF Doorway says, you would only be the a-hole if you rewarded your stepdaughter for nothing when your son did what he agreed to. That's what parenting is, and that was a great deal for them, which both could have taken advantage of if they put in the work. You are not the a-hole, but your stepdaughter and wife are both acting incredibly entitled. 90% passing sure makes a lot more sense to reward than 64% failing and subsequent cheating. Actions have consequences, and the fact your daughter and wife don't see that, and the accessing of the account especially, is a massive red flag. If she wants to reward her daughter for no reason, that's on her. But she's a fool to do so, and should do it from her own pockets. Not the a-hole. Posted by user FlimsyShop9069. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I am never babysitting or being childcare for her and her husband again? So my sister asked me if I could babysit Thursday and Friday afternoons after school for her and her husband while they work. I said sure, no problem. I love my niece and nephew, and I love spending time with them. It was also a nice way to get to know her husband's 2 kids better when they had them. It has worked great for the 3 years I've been doing it. Then I started doing an occasional Saturday night for their date nights. For a while, I've had some issues with her husband. There were nights he didn't have his kids from a previous relationship, but he wanted me to babysit as well, and I never felt comfortable with this. When it's his parenting time, absolutely no problem. But I know his ex from a past job, and I do not want to get involved with her level of crazy, which babysitting on her parenting time could potentially bring to my door. My sister and I talked about this before, and she got him to back off for the most part. Because of this, I was happy to continue. So last Saturday, I was supposed to babysit for them to have a kid-free night after months of craziness due to the pandemic. My sister's husband shows up with all the kids, because it was their parenting time, and his ex's younger child and her boyfriend's kids. Nobody said anything to me. I never agreed to have all those kids, and at the door he acted like an ass because I told him I was not babysitting all those kids. I called my sister, and she said she had no idea he would do that. I told her that I am tired of him pushing, and that last night crossed a line for me, and I am not willing to subject myself to the pressure again. Not to mention, it made me feel like an ass having to deal with it while all the kids were standing there, some of whom I had never laid eyes on before. My sister is understandably hurt, but she said she understands. Her husband is telling me I'm an a-hole for dropping out of things on such short notice. Am I? Am I the a-hole? No, you made it clear that you would not babysit if this woman's kids also came along, and guess what? They did that. And then they expected you to babysit when you told them no. In this situation, I will not babysit. Kind of crazy how that doublethink works. It's just like, maybe if we just do it anyway, we'll have a different outcome, because we're not insane at all. It's good that you're sticking to your guns, OP. I really admire that one, and continue to be a badass. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. He tried to take advantage of you babysitting by dropping more kids on you unexpectedly. He doesn't deserve you as a babysitter. I'm still so frustrated about that. I would be too. He is incredibly rude for trying that. Rude and overall just being an ass with the whole thing. Not the a-hole. What a lot of nerve dropping his kids off that you don't even know and expecting you to watch them. That's a whole lot of a-hole behavior on his part. It is. I thought he was an a-hole enough for trying to push this on me for several months, but he went even beyond that. He dropped off 4 children that I did not know, had never met before, and thought I would just accept it. Absolutely amazing. I don't understand how anyone, under any circumstances, would think this is okay. Unless an asteroid is heading to Earth and for some reason the only way the children will survive is if they're under your care. But I am reasonably sure that this was not the case. Lol? No. Not even close to what was going on. Pfft, duh. It's crazy. I can hardly believe he thought I would give in at the door. Posted by user GoldGah. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my father he and his family get nothing from me? So I, 19 female, am in college. 4 years ago, my parents divorced after my father decided he was done being responsible and left. He came back after more than a year and married someone else and was helping raise her kids. He brought our mum to court for shared custody. He was granted less than 50% because he was out of our lives for a while. I wanted to stay with my mum, but the judges said he would order an evaluation to be done if we disagreed with his decision. I didn't want to cost my mum more, so I went along with it. But once I turned 18, I was done and I didn't go back. I have nothing to do with my father. He left us and then expected me to be his nanny. His wife tried to be nice to us, but she wasn't part of the equation in my eyes. My father had crap on my mum, left her with 3 kids in debt that he got into, broke her heart, and he abandoned his kids. So I was there for my mum's sake, so she wasn't paying a crap ton for court. I've been helping my mum out ever since I graduated high school. Before really, but more now. I help with groceries and sometimes I go over to cook and stuff so my brother can get his tutoring and help with homework. He has dyslexia and dyscalculia. And so my sister, 14, can get therapy and stuff she needs while my mum works. My father found out I was helping and was annoyed I don't do the same at his house. I told him I owe him nothing and they get nothing from me. He claims I'm punishing his wife and her kids for his mistakes. I don't know why I honestly even gave this any thought, but is it a dick thing that I really don't care to help out his wife or her kids? They are almost strangers to me. We are not family, whereas my mum and my siblings are. Ugh, I don't know. Am I the a-hole? You've laid it out pretty fairly well, but I can definitely see why, you're posting here, because you would feel very guilt-tripped in this situation, and being like, yeah, he was my father for 15 years and then he dipped. Maybe I do owe him something. I don't know, I was doing my mum a favor in court by, going to his house anyway and not having to have her fight or pay more. And whatever bullcrap he's feeding into your ears about, oh my god, you owe it to me, oh my god, how could you do it for them and not me? It's just utter nonsense, it is not relevant to your situation, you told him how it is, and you need to keep your promise to not help him and not have him be a part of your life. I'm surprised you haven't completely cut contact with this man. Not the a-hole, and keep telling him that you're not going to do anything for him. He's trash. Not the a-hole. You're right. You don't owe them anything. Besides, what you do with your time is none of his business. This is also true. It's not. He lost the right to have anything to do with my business when he abandoned us. Once you made the decision, going no contact can be really liberating. Just something to keep in mind. You don't need more crap from him in your life. Sounds like you've got a lot on your plate already. True, I do have a lot on my plate. I hope you're away from him now. Sounds like a toxic dad to me. I'm really sorry for everything that's happening to you. Not the a-hole. Don't let him guilt you. You owe him nothing. Quote, he claims I'm punishing his wife and her kids for his mistakes. End quote. He just needs to step up and take care of his own responsibilities instead of shirking them off on someone else like he did when he left your mother. It's such a leap of logic. They are complete strangers to OP. By his logic, I'm punishing his wife and kids by not helping out. The time you spend on Reddit could be spent washing their dishes, you know? Not the a-hole. I'm guessing he doesn't provide child support? You are being an amazing human. I am sure your mum is proud of you. And OP replies, I'm gonna guess no. My mum would never tell me because she didn't want to badmouth him, but she struggled a lot. She had to take on half of his debt because he racked it up as a marital debt, and she was feeding 3 kids, paying bills, had the cost of divorce, and had to sell our family home and move. None of it was cheap, and she's still paying. He's meant to provide child support, but either he does and it's barely anything, or he gets away with not paying. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to end today's video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, I want to do a huge shout out to all my channel members and Patreon subscribers. You should be up on the screen now. I love you all, and I think every single one of you are amazing for supporting the channel in the way that you do. Again, thank you so much for supporting me. And again, if you did enjoy today's video, please do tell me what you thought of it down in the comments below. All of your hot takes, opinions, whatever you think, really, whatever's going on in your life right now, I'd love to hear down in the comments below. Before I leave, I'd also like to announce that I'm going to start doing meme content again on the second channel. I know it's been a while, so click on the Markee head on the screen without the Australian flag behind him if you want to go see some memes. And as always, guys, have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.